Hey everybody, I am so excited to be here with you today. I am so happy and thrilled that A Dance in Donegal was the February book of the month for the Beyond the Book Club with Ravel. And I'm excited, just lots of excitement going on over here to answer some of your questions that you guys sent in. So let's get going. So Shannon asked if I've ever lived in Ireland and if I speak fluent Gaelic and what my favorite thing is about Ireland. So yes, I have lived in Ireland. My husband and I lived in Donegal for 2 years when we were first married. And then a little bit later, we went back and lived in the Galway area for about 4 years. And I did speak fluent Gaelic. Um, but since then, we lived in Vienna for a while and I learned German. And then we're back in Arizona now where there's a lot of Spanish. And so it's in there somewhere, but I think I'd have to be around it a little bit again to really be fully conversational in it again. But yes, it's in there. And then my favorite thing about Ireland, oh my goodness. Um, I love all of it. The land, the weather, the people, the food, the breakfast. Oh my goodness, the Irish breakfast is so good. Their tea, their desserts, the music. So yeah, it's kind of like picking a favorite kid, I'd have to say. And speaking of breakfast, Vanessa asked, she said, the breakfast in the story made my mouth water reading about it. And did you find this abundance of food when you were living there as a typical breakfast? In my visit to Italy many years ago, breakfast included in your overnight was a cup of coffee and a roll. Um, so no, most Irish people that I know do not eat a full fry for breakfast. It's typically when they go on holiday or if they go stay at a B&B, somewhere else in another county or something, then they would have it. Or they might do like a dad might do a fry for at home for the mom for Mother's Day or something like that. So no, sadly, not a daily occurrence, although health-wise is probably a good thing. Chris asked, what kind of research did you do for the book and were you able to travel to Ireland before everything shut down? So a lot of my research I did while we were living there. So the first time we were there from 2002 to 2004. And then we were again back in from 2008 to about 2012. So a lot of my research was just sort of what I learned while we were living there. And then I also read some books, did some internet searches, and then I had a couple of Irish friends that let me pick their brain a little bit. So sadly, I was not able to take a trip. Recently, I haven't been back since 2012, which makes me very sad. Let's see what else. Um, okay, so Vesna again asked, and I think I said Vanessa earlier, I'm very sorry, it looks like Vesna asked, how was your experience releasing your debut novel during this historical pandemic with no in-person book launches, etc.? Has this been difficult, or are you seeing this as a bright lining in that you could reach so many more readers across the globe? Um, it's been amazing. The support that I have gotten from my friends and family around the world has been just absolutely incredible. Um, I don't think, I don't think I could have asked for anything more in that regard. And then my readers too, I've been online for a long time. And a lot of people have been following me and we've been online friends since the beginning, about 10 years ago when I first kind of came online, and they've just been so generous with their sharing and their encouragement. And I think maybe it's even more so because of the pandemic, because they know I can't do any um, in-person events and things like that. I think maybe that reach has expanded a little bit, which is a blessing. I was bummed that I wasn't able to do any kind of in-person launch party or anything like that. But again, the launch party, I was able to be involved with people from all around the world, which was awesome. It made my little traveler heart very happy. And then Bonnie asks, what does it feel like to see people's comments about your characters and settings? And does it surprise you the ways in which your readers are connecting with them. It's very weird, but wonderful to see how people connect or don't connect with the different characters and who people's favorites are. Um, there's a lot of overlap on the favorites, which doesn't surprise me at all because they're kind of my favorites too. And it just does my heart such good that so many people say after reading this, they feel like they've been there. And that was one of the big goals that I had, was for it to be so authentic and so immersive and encompassing of the Irish culture and setting that it would be like a visit there for people who have never been and who might never able to go, might not ever be able to go. That's it. So that's been fun. And let me make sure I'm getting all of these. And then Ravel asked, what was your favorite part of writing this book, and which character do you identify with the most? Oh, I think adding the little mystery suspense element to it was probably one of my favorite parts. I just really enjoyed kind of scheming and being a little bit mean to my characters. That was fun. I also loved the scene where Moira and Sean and Sinead and her parents go to Letterkenny. That whole scene from when they first leave that morning from Ballyman all the way through until they get back. That is quite possibly my most favorite scene in the whole book. And that I really enjoyed writing that and tweaking it and things like that. And then which character do I identify with most? Probably Moira, just because I do myself tend to have a lot of self-doubt and struggle with some negative self-talk and things like that, like she did. I want to be like Peg. That's my prayer, that God would make me into a woman like that, that would just in a tender way encourage everyone around her with the love of Christ and help them become more Christ-like. I definitely don't feel like I'm there yet, but that's where I would want to be. And then I forgot who asked it. Oh, it was Vesna again. Asked, can you tell us what you're working on next? I am so very excited. I just got my first round of edits back on book 2. So I'll be jumping into those this weekend. And this is, I call it book 2 just because it's the second book. It's a standalone. So these 2 books are separate from each other. This one takes place also in Ireland in 1920, but it takes place in the Galway area, which is, if this is Ireland, Donegal's up here, it takes place on this coast. Galway's right here, about almost exactly in the middle of the western coast. And this story surrounds the legend of the Claddagh ring, which a lot of people know what it is, but they don't know what it's called. That's the little symbol. You see it a lot on rings that has the heart and then the hands holding the heart with the crown on top. And the family, or the man that created that symbol, was from Galway. And so the family, his ancestors are still there, and they run a jewelry shop there. And so that is sort of the home base for this story. And it follows Annabeth, who comes over from England with her parents. Her father has been assigned there as a British landlord to the Galway parish. And she finagles her way into this jewelry shop as an apprentice because she needs a creative outlet. And if you know anything about Irish and British history, she's not the most welcome person in that shop. And so the story explores the truth about love and prejudice and acceptance and forgiveness and sort of identity, and how it really should be rooted in Christ. Also, the faith element, I feel, is very different in this one from the other one, rooted in the same truth, but the story manifests itself in a different way. So I'm very excited about that. The title is not quite ready to be shared. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping soon we'll be able to do that, and the cover reveal and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to get in on that and be one of the first to know when that happens and be the first to see the cover and know the title, then make sure that you sign up for my newsletter. I send it out about every month. Sometimes it's every other month, depending on how busy I get. And I promise not to spam you. And I'm not always trying to sell you things. I just share things going on with me, news about the book, books I'm loving, books I'm reading, updates from other authors that I enjoy, things like that. So you can sign up for that on my website at jenniferdeibel.com. And that's Deibel. And I just want to thank you guys so much for reading this book and discussing it, and choosing to spend your time with Maura and her friends. And I'm so excited that I got to be part of this with you. And I hope to connect with you soon. Bye. I have to figure out how to stop recording. Okay, bye.